One. What's happening, YouTube? It's Thursday night with Nicole, and we're back bringing you guys some of the hottest topics going on in social media, as well as information you can use to better your life. Nicole, how you feeling tonight?
I'm peachy as always.
I notice everybody that does these lives with me have a gimmick. What's that gimmick in your cup tonight? Show the people your cup.
I don't have a gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
I have a beverage.
Okay, so since everybody has a gimmick or a beverage, I'm gonna go back to my old gimmick. For those of y'all that's been with me since 2015, y'all love this one. Let me take time to put on my +7 glasses of sexy as hell.
Oh no!
Filling up my craft, bringing you a more informed YouTube experience, and definitely something better.
Oh no! No one wants to see that.
Yeah, something better to look at.
Nobody wants to see that.
Let's get down to the nitty-gritty for the people. So we're going to talk about Kirk and Rasheeda and a possible underage teenage love. We've also got something I had no idea really existed. There's something called Black Twitter. Did y'all know about that? Because your boy didn't. And I'm supposed to be on this. And we also got to talk about the COVID-19 PPP money. Damn it, they done ran out and screwed the middle class one more time. And North Carolina has hit a record for unemployment filers.
Yeah.
Rasheeda and Kirk Frost, if you're not familiar, they are on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. I always enjoy teasing my wife that my role model, my male role model, is on that show named Stevie J, because he gets it done. He brings women, he turns them into stars. You know what I'm saying? You know, but there are some other people on the show. There's a couple called Rasheeda and Kirk. I'll let Nicole fill in the gaps on what just happened in that story. Nicole, please tell the people what's going on with Rasheeda and Kirk Frost.
Okay, so for those who are not familiar, Rasheeda is an ex-rapper, for lack of a better word, who's turned reality star. So she's on this show, Love and Hip Hop. There's several different franchises, but there's one based in Atlanta, and she is part of that Atlanta group. So she's married to Kirk Frost, and Kirk, okay, I used to keep up with it. Yes, I did. But then it started getting a bit too much for even me, so I just tuned out. But every now and then I'll tune back in for an episode or a reunion or whatnot. But apparently on one of the episodes recently, Kirk and Rasheeda celebrated a 20-year marriage. Everyone knows they're married. So they celebrated 20 years. No. This man has no. These are not marriage goals. Well, anyway, so they celebrated 20 years. So the fans, the audience, the people that tune in or casually tune in like myself, they went back and did the math. Mm-hmm. So Google says that Rasheeda is 37 and Kirk is 51. Mm-hmm. So if that is true, then if you subtract 20 years, and they've been together for 20 years, you subtract 20 years, then that alludes to Kirk was, back in the day, people said robbing the cradle. He was, he stepped across the line. She would have been 17 years old, and he would have been, what is that?
31?
Yeah. So obviously a significant age difference. And so that's where everything. So Rasheeda and Kirk felt within themselves to release a little video to rebuke the rumors. So, hey guys, this isn't true. And it's Kirk up front, and Rasheeda's playing like his wingman, like go figure. And they're talking about how this isn't true, and Kirk doesn't like young girls, and this is just, and I'm like, really? Because he has a kid that's like 2 or 3, a young kid with a younger girl, but he doesn't like young girls. And I just feel like this whole thing can be squashed if she just says, you know what, Google might say I'm 37, but I'm really 45.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that would solve it. It would go away. But I think at the onset of the show and her, getting this notoriety, she lied about her age. So now at this point, it's like, okay, how can she backtrack that? And she's not willing to do that, because that would be a simple fix. That would solve if they've been together for 20 years and she's 45, 46, 47. Well, hell, if she's 43, if she's in her early to mid 40s, then the math would even out and they'd be fine. But she is yet to come clean and say, they're just saying, oh, it's rumors, it's not true. But people are only going by what they're able to research.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a clip that someone found, and I'm not sure if it was on the show or whatever, but it's her and some friends talking and celebrating. And one of the friends say in the clip, you used to come up to her high school and think, I'm going to get her pretty ass, or something to that effect. And I'm like, high school? Like, wait, what? You were the guy with the nice car driving by the high schools to pick up babes? Like, what grown up does that? So that's the story thus far.
Whoa, that is a mouthful. Let me shout out my homie Mike Willie. Bruh, I love you. He contributed to the Baby L Diapers Fund. And let me shout out my big homie CBF BMC. Love y'all. Thank y'all for rocking with us. First things first for me, Rasheeda was one of my favorite people on that show. And I like Rasheeda, man. I felt like she was the down ass person. I felt like she was the one that wasn't doing too much faking, until I realized that those shows are just like WWE. They're just like WWE.
And what does that mean?
It means that they're fake storylines mixed in with a little bit of what's really happening in your life. But they want you to ham it up for the camera. Having said those things, first thing I want to know is, why would Rasheeda lie about her age? Like, how does that benefit her to lie about her age? That's the first thing I want to know.
And I think that with some women, when they're on certain platforms, they want to retain or feel like they have to elude a little more sexuality. Mm-hmm. If you look at the cast of these types of franchises, they're usually young, slightly fit, sexy women. And so you bring in a, slightly older woman, even though she's just as attractive, she's just as fit, she's just as sexy as these other girls, she probably feels like, oh, well, these are 20-year-olds. People are going to say, why are you behaving in such a way and you're an older woman? So I don't know. That's just my guess, that she's trying to play up the character, so to speak, that she's playing. But it's coming back to bite you in the butt, because the internet never dies and it's undefeated. So either you're going to just let it go and stop responding, which you never should have responded in the first place, or you're going to come out and say how old you are. I have yearbooks from when I was in 7th grade to the moment I graduated. If anybody ever became famous, I have a documented record that I could pull and say, oh, well, back in this year, this was the great, So now, But I just think some women lie about their age. I don't feel any woman should, because my grandma used to say, you should celebrate every birthday, because some people never get those birthdays. So I celebrate and I honor every birthday I have. But I don't know why she's lying.
Yeah, that was a wise grandmother. And second, and to add more substance to what you said, if she is older than these 20-somethings, but she looks as good as them and is as good a shape as they are, it makes it more impressive the older she becomes. So there's really no need for you to hide your age. As a matter of fact, you might inspire these young girls to take care of themselves. That would be the first thing I would say if she's lying about her age. The next thing I want to know, let's just say in a vacuum, this is true. Okay. Let's say that Kirk really was skinning and grinning around schools like R. Kelly, playing, I don't see nothing wrong with bump and grind, around high school. Let's say he really was doing that.
Age
And
ain't nothing but a number.
yeah, age ain't nothing but a number, the whole nine. And he did scoop up Rasheeda because he had this nice whip.
Okay.
That says two wrongs, in my opinion. Why are you clout chasing someone because they got a nice car? But superseding that, if Kirk know he 31, he shouldn't have his butt nowhere near a school. Period.
Woo.
If this is the case, now we don't know, but we're assuming that this could be part of the story. But then it gets to a bigger narrative of, okay, she's 17, Kirk's 31, and we deem that as wrong in our society. But would we look at someone who's 19 dating a 17-year-old as wrong? What is the cutoff number? If you get what I'm saying. Like, no one is going to look at an 18-year-old dating a 17-year-old, even though legally it's wrong. Legally, there can be a lawsuit and somebody can be arraigned for statutory because you messed around with a 17-year-old person and you 18. But we don't look at that as bad unless it's someone who's like 10 years plus older. So what is the cutoff line in our society where someone can be 17 years old, but someone 19 or 20 or whatever can date them, and we don't look at it as something wrong, even though the whole thing is still illegal?
I'm not sure what the cutoff age would be. When I was in high school, I grew up in a small rural town, and I was a senior in high school, so I had a little more freedom to go and come and whatnot. I remember there was this guy around town that I found attractive, and he and I would run into each other. And one time we exchanged phone numbers, and so we got to talking. Well, during the course of the conversation, I asked the question, "How old are you?" And he said he was 28. So I'm thinking, well, that's a little old, but hey, he's cute, I'm cute. We're gonna date or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I remember having a casual conversation with my mom because she and I had an open communication. I said, "What's too old for me to have a boyfriend?"
Mm-hmm.
And she said, "Well, what are you getting at?" She's trying to figure this thing out. And so I said, "Well, it's 10 years too old." And that was oh, no.
Mm-hmm.
I have a niece, for all intents and purposes, who is currently 19. She'll be 20 in June. Sophomore in college. If she were to date someone 21,
Mm-hmm.
that's not eyebrow raising. That's not a flag on the play. 25 is like, what you doing with it? Yeah, that's it.
But see, the thing with her is she's 18 though, so technically she's legal for all purposes except for drinking.
Wait, pause, hold up. Legal on paper
mm-hmm.
and an adult, I feel, in my opinion, are two entirely different things.
I would agree, but legal on paper can keep your ass out of jail.
Okay, and that's fine. But okay, so you can't safely or confidently or securely date this person because the family's going to make it extremely hard for you. Like, how much are you willing to invest into this thing? Because unless you're taking care, and this is for young men or young women, unless you're taking care of yourself, someone else is providing you the bare essentials, i.e. your cell phone, to communicate with this person. They are providing you with shelter, a safe place to live. They are 9 times out of 10 taking care of your every want and all of your needs. So it's like, okay, at what point do you say, oh, well, I'm going to date this person anyway, despite what my family says? That there are countless stories where that goes horribly wrong. So I don't know what how to balance that. I just know that I would say if there's an age difference, if the young person, and we'll say that because it works in reverse as well. But if the young person is under the age of 21 and you're over the age of 21, that's dicey. That's dicey to me.
Well, everything you just said about someone not getting bills paid because they're being supported by someone else. I'm going to have to assume that was Rasheeda's situation at 17. Hell, I'm tired of being supported by my mama, but this Negro over here got this nice $100,000 whip. He can take care of all my needs, and look what it transitioned into for her, a 20-year marriage.
Okay, pause. This fool got like 8, 9 kids. She only gave him 2. So where these other kids come from?
Apparently she know about it and she stuck with him.
Well,
see what I'm saying?
Common sense ain't common.
It sure ain't. And an ant to an aardvark is death. Moving right along to Black Twitter. My life gain on that, ladies and gentlemen. Fellas, make sure you card anybody that you think is underage. And don't be hanging around no high schools, man.
No.
There ain't nothing good for you at a high school.
No.
I'm going to tell you what an old dude told me.
Oh, my.
Old dude's like, brother, there's no need in you hanging around the high school. Go to the corner store around the corner from the high school and hang out there. That's what an old brother told me. Either way you do it, fellas, be sure to card people. Protect yourself legally. Make sure that thing say at least 18 if you feel the need to be dibber-dabbling in that area. And women too, because we don't hear about the stories of women messing around with underage people. As a matter of fact, one happened in North Carolina where a teacher just went to jail because she got pregnant by her student, who she claimed she didn't know was under 18. So it's a story for Kirk and Rasheeda because they're in the media, their show is on. And if you're going to get on social media and be running your mouth, make sure that you have your story together, unless you're pushing some narrative that you want everybody else to believe. We don't know.
Yeah.
So here we go. Black Twitter, ladies and gentlemen, this is something I didn't even know was a real deal. I learned something new on this channel every week. We have material up here. I didn't know there was a legitimate Black Twitter. Before we get into this story, Nicole, explain to the people what is Black Twitter.
Okay, so Black Twitter is real. There's Twitter. Everybody knows the Twitter platform. But Black Twitter is the bowels of hell. It is not, there is nothing good going on in the Black Twitter. It is not the place you go because it is Easter Sunday and you can't go to church and you need to be affirmed. It is not the place you go when you're having a bad day and you need something inspirational. It is not the place you go to find dates or girlfriends or anything positive. Anything negative happening, it is happening on Black Twitter.
Damn.
I go to Black Twitter during award shows or TV shows because Black Twitter is saying everything that you ever thought that you thought. I could say this out loud, but I can't really say this out loud. Black Twitter is saying it. Somebody on Black Twitter, and then it becomes a thread, and it's just it is jaw-dropping, eye-widening entertainment. It is the bowels of hell. I don't suggest anybody really hang out.
I just have I just got so many questions before we get into this Black Twitter. Try not to laugh. Are white people allowed on Black Twitter?
White people that visit Black Twitter, yeah. I mean, it's not like a Black internet. It's not hidden or anything. It's, you know, when I go to my Twitter account, if there's a popular award show and I search it and you can find Black Twitter. It's not hard to find. All Black stuff is not hard to find.
Is there a special section you look for it, or do you go up there and just say Black Twitter?
You can search that way in your search box. Yeah.
Okay. Well, fellas, we about to get us a lesson in hair and Black culture because Black Twitter went in on Anglo-Saxon female, and Nicole would love to share this story with y'all. I'm gonna just sit back here and drink my protein shake and listen to this. Go ahead, tell them the story of how Black Twitter women just emasculated white women on Black Twitter.
Excuse me. No, that was not the case. Here's the gist of what I caught wind of. And that's all it was. I laughed. I had 2 cents of opinion. I shared it with homegirl and we laughed and we had 2 cents of opinion and we left it alone. We are professional women. And so we don't, dwell in Black Twitter. But there was a conversation about essential businesses, here in North Carolina, the governor has released rules that, the grocery stores, certain stores are considered essential. So part of the rules that were released or modified or whatnot is that, okay, you have to limit people coming in. You have to have markers on the floor, so you're trying to keep social distancing and keeping everybody safe.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm with that. I have to go to get some essential things either tomorrow or the weekend or whatever. So some African-American young lady responded on Black Twitter with, hey, the beauty supply store should be deemed essential because, there's stuff we need. And as a card carrying member currently of the Corona Hair,
Corona Hair, you don't care?
No. I do care. I don't like Corona Hair. So, your hair salons, your beauty supply stores, everything's closed up. So, we're having to make do otherwise. So, as a member of the Corona Hair Posse, I saw that and I thought, well, geez, that's right. They can limit. And I mean, it's a big store. They can, put down markers and count people off and, they can do that. So I saw it. I laughed. I thought, well, yeah, that's true. And went on about my day. I go back for something. I don't know. I'm bored or I'm just needing some entertainment. And someone has responded, well, can't you go to Sally's.com and order online?
Or Amazon?
Excuse me. The response was, but we weren't talking to you. When an African American woman says the beauty supply store, we are not 9.5 times out of 10. We are not talking about Sally's. We are fully aware that Sally's beauty supply store, beauty salon, whatever their name is on the building, we are fully aware they exist. Many of us, a lot of us have been inside of a Sally's and purchased items out of the Sally's. But when we say we need to go to the beauty supply store, Sally's is not the place we are saying we need to go. So my thing was, because there were lots of comments to this young lady's, well, why can't you just order it online at Sally's? Because we can't get what we need on the Sally's online. And we weren't talking to you. You should just sit there and eat your food and keep on scrolling. I saw it as an African-American woman. I laughed. I had a thought of opinion. I shared it with my homegirl. We laughed. We had thought of opinion. And we kept scrolling. Like, why you gotta be a part? So Black Twitter proceeds to
oh Lord, oh my God.
Dissect,
emasculate.
Yeah, and it was just it became funny to me because again, I realize it's the internet. I realize that it's a social media platform and that we are all at home bored and looking for some entertainment. But I refuse to be the entertainment. Laugh with me. Don't laugh at me or whatever the saying is. But, so I got curious and my homegirl got curious. So we go out and look up their Twitter handles and they are now private.
What in the hell? Wait a minute. I'm so confused. I'm like, for real. I'm like, I'm so confused. Okay. I'm lost here. Somebody got to help. Somebody find me.
Okay, what do you want to know? I'll answer as best I can.
You mean to tell me, and maybe this Anglo-Saxon female was asking the question, can you not get it from Sally's? And y'all proceed to dig into that girl's part?
Hold up. A question is followed by a question mark. When you are making a statement, it is followed by a period, Pooh. No, she made a statement. that we can just go to Sally's online and order whatever we need.
Okay, so you mean
Sally's does not carry everything I need for my lace front hair, for my flat iron hair, for my corona hair, for my natural hair, for my I want to color it a little bit hair. No, I cannot go to Sally's and get all of my hair care needs met.
Well, as far as that's concerned, you can't go to China and get it either because exports is closed between here and China.
Excuse you, but I didn't say I could go to China. I can go to the beauty supply store, and not only can I get, a paddle brush or a band for my hair or some clips or maybe a little color for the wisdom that comes sometimes, but I can get some argan oil if I need that, or maybe I need some dew-grow, maybe I need a new headscarf, or hey, maybe I need something for my face because, I need to get the lace from up here, so there's a myriad of different things. I can go to the beauty supply store and spend an hour or hours looking for. And we're not even going to go into the whole wall that they have of hair. I can go get a drawstring ponytail. I can go get some 18-inch Yaki deep wave hair to make a ponytail. I can go to the beauty supply store and get everything I need. I can't do that to Sal's, and I'm not going to risk my all of my beauty detail to what is available online at Sal's. No.
So what if she was just inferring find it online like Amazon, Sally's, and other hair care places that you can get these items online? And see, let me give you an example of why I'm lost. And I have apathy for the white girl that y'all shamed off Black Twitter. Now she ain't gonna have nowhere to get no culture. See, you live in Greensboro. You know there's a giant mall in Greensboro called Four Seasons. They have a damn vending machine full of black hair that y'all can't touch. You got to look at it, put in, I think it's $50, and hit a button, and it drops out. You pick up the hair, and you go. How is that any different from shopping online? That's all I want to know. I think this girl was trying to be helpful.
There are certain demographics that always want to be a part. We didn't ask you. That's the first thing. We didn't ask you. Second thing is, I'm very familiar with what you're speaking of. Those vending machines. Mm-hmm. Yes, you can buy vending machine hair. However, that same hair that's sold in those vending machines, from what I understand, because I've never purchased any. You can order this hair online. You can order it through a vendor. You can order it different places. People are familiar with the product. It's like I can go to Walmart and buy a bag of Doritos and I miss them. And I know what I'm getting. If I get it from the vending machine, I'm getting essentially the same product. I might be getting less of a quantity, but the quality is still the same. It's the same type thing with the vending machine hair. I don't do that because that's not my ministry. I don't know about hair. I wear hair. I don't know about it. So I pay for convenience. So I say, look, stylist person, this is what I want. This is what I need. Make it do what it do. She gives me a price. I provide payment and we're good. Some people are, a little more savvy with that than I am. And they have, patronized the vending machine here. That's fine. I have a cousin, not the same 19-year-old cousin, but another cousin who has also gone through Amazon and purchased here. Hey, that works for her. Have at it. That ain't me. I'm not buying hair off Amazon. No.
So so in other words, y'all ran off this young lady who could have got some culture because she was trying to give you constructive help during a crisis. It'd be different if you had access to go to these stores, but this is a crisis, and she was trying to give nice advice. I can hear her right now. Well, y'all can probably just go to Sally's online, and then y'all gonna run her out of here, got her scared of black folks all across America because y'all ain't understanding.
We didn't ask you, and I didn't ask you. you don't always need to be a part of a conversation. I have been in many rooms where I'm listening and gleaming from others to understand better. I don't take the limited knowledge that I might have and impart it on the group so that I can seem smarter, wiser, faster, whatever. But we didn't ask you.
It seems like that girl
to you.
It seems like she was just trying to be helpful. The Black Twitter statement was they need to let the hair places be open as an essential place, and they're not doing that. And with the Anglo-Saxon understanding that they're not doing that, she tried to give a helpful piece of advice. Can't you just order it on? Can't you just order it online?
Sir,
can't you just order it online?
In this current time of Corona, what I am needing to take care of my now Corona hair cannot be purchased at Sally's beauty supply store. I am making do until my governor opens up my salon and I can go and sit for 3 hours and say, fix this. But we didn't ask you. And as an African-American woman, if I didn't feel the need to comment or, hey, offer up a suggestion, did it ever occur to homegirl that maybe she had exhausted her options? She had looked at Sally's online and they did not have pink oil lotion, which she was looking for. Did it ever occur to her that they didn't have the argan oil she was looking for or the Dugro oil? Did it ever occur to her that she needed some anti-itch for her scalp to go under her lace front? Did it ever occur to her that maybe those items were not sold at the South?
Well, last I checked, Rona is a lung disorder, not a scalp itching disorder. And if y'all wouldn't have shamed that poor girl, she probably could have came back and suggested where y'all could shop online for those hair care products. But
we know where to get our hair care products.
And those places are closed right now. So she was trying to get them right.
And as a card-carrying member of the African American community, there are several chats sessions happening. There are several online platforms that are developing where we are in conversation on where to secure or procure our hair care product needs currently. We got this. We have been this for 400 years. If we are encountering a problem, we got this.
In essence, what the girl was trying to say, y'all are behind closed doors already doing what the girl was trying to inference as advice anyway.
We already got this. We are not new to this. We true to this. We encounter problems daily, hourly sometimes. We got this. We can handle this.
Folks, I might not ever dibble dabble in Black Twitter. It sounds extremely confusing and ignorant to me. I don't know, man. I just got lost in that one.
I told you it was the bowels of hell.
I felt like somebody was just trying to be helpful, and then they scared this chick away. Now she ain't gonna get no more Black culture. She's gonna get it from the wrong person. I don't know. I'm leaving Black Twitter. Enough of that. Let's get on into COVID-19 money and news. Nico, COVID-19 has created a disaster for this economy, a disaster for our president, and a disaster for the economic health of most small businesses in America. They cut 3 stimulus packages that are supposed to be geared first and foremost for small business, which is designated 499 people or less. And they started rolling one of the plans out called the Paycheck Protection Program for small business. Okay. What would you say if I told you that in 2 weeks, they're out of money for that program?
It wouldn't surprise me. It's supply and demand.
Surprise you?
It's supply and demand. I mean, you think about basic economics. You offering up something to the masses. and you're saying, hey, you need to apply, or you can get this, that, and a third. All you have to do is A, B, or C. You're going to have everybody that thinks they remotely qualify, that can finagle some numbers, that can, move some things around, that have an LLC or a TIN number, EIN number, what the hell ever. They're all applying for this money. It's at the bank. And if I have a friend who's at the bank and I have a EIN, we fill out the form and my friend's gonna make it do what it do. Yeah, it's supply and demand. There should have been a better way to do that. There should have been more government regulation surrounding it. Banks are afraid, I'm going to give you this money, you're going to default on this loan. And then who's screwed and holding the bag? The bank.
Well, here's the problem. It was supposed to go to small business. 90% of this money went to big business, and I don't understand how. For example, Ruth Chris Steakhouse. Ain't nothing small about Ruth Chris. They got $35 million in Paycheck Protection Program funds. That's not small business. In my little bank that I bank with, the two people that have the largest accounts, totaling some $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, $8 million, they got $20 million. And those are the only two people in my bank that got the funds. Now, they love to run out in front of a camera, the politicians do, and swear up and down, oh, the backbone of America is their small businesses. Baloney.
Yeah.
Apparently, it was in the roost. The rooster was in the hen house, whatever analogy you want to use, for the big businesses to get their hands on this money before the small players could get any of this money. The SBA and the banks are all out of money. They're out. And when I looked at the numbers, 90% of this money went to people like Ruth Chris, big established businesses who should already have the money anyway, if you just want me to get right down to it. And the small players who legitimately might only have 2-3 months of savings got screwed again. How much longer do you think this can last?
Well, folks still run around not practicing social distancing, holding protest rallies in some states. People are still having parties. People are still, doing stuff. So it's like, okay, we're not going to be able to get on the other side of the curve because folks just don't believe that it can happen to me. So we need to, at some point, yes, the government needs to be reopened. I have friends, I have relatives that are being drastically affected by this. And so I don't know, but we can't get ahead of it if people aren't taking the required precautions to stop the spread of it, for one. And then we need vaccine government, something like what? If people want to be tested to see if they have it or have the antibodies in their body to combat this, there's no way to do that. There's no way that that's being done. So it's supply and demand. The money's not there. It doesn't surprise me. It didn't surprise me when Chase, the largest bank in the country, said, we're not going to do this right now. We're going to wait to see what else happens. On the day one, when everybody, I think it was April 3rd, when everybody was supposed to be able to, sign up for this money. That's your red flag right there. When the biggest bank in the country says, we're going to hold off on doing this right now, that's your flag.
My flag is this country loves to take care of the biggest corporations and swear up and down they love middle class and poor, but it never fails. It never fails.
That sounds good.
Until we figure out a way to do something about all this money in politics, it's going to wind up being, it's eroding to the point where it's either you you upper poor, or you lower class rich. There ain't about to be no middle. And
Wow.
if they keep doing what they're doing with these policies and allowing the lobbyists to control the politicians, which in turn controls the money, people like this are going to keep getting screwed. And I thought some of y'all voted to drain the swamp. Remember that? Remember the swamp supposed to be getting drained?
I do remember that.
And y'all filled it up with Swamp Thing and all these little damn children. Speaking of COVID-19 and issues going on, he did a press conference today, your president, where he's trying to roll out a 3-phase way to getting the economy started back. And I didn't listen to all of it. I caught one part of it, and it was some bull jive. And I'll expand on that probably with the fellas tomorrow when I've had some time to break it down.
Okay.
But just in the state of North Carolina, we usually average only 12,000 a month of people filing for unemployment. Over the last 4 weeks, take a wild guess at how many people have applied for unemployment in our state.
1.5 million.
619,000.
Oh wow!
It's
going to be damn near close to 1 million soon.
Right, and even with that high number, Roy Cooper is still saying we need to take a measured, tapered approach before we wind up having this thing come back to bite us again in a couple of months. You just mentioned how people been hauling up in their redneck vehicles heading to state capitals. Well, they did it here too, folks. I mean, they did it here too. And normally, when they get in front of an interview camera and they go find people to interview, they usually go try to find the most sad-looking Black person in America. And Nicole, I got to tell you, it did my heart fine that that's not what they could find this time when they went to the protest for people wanting to open the state of North Carolina up.
Oh, my.
The people that they found in this rally to interview looked like something you'd see off Tiger King.
Oh.
They talk like the president of the United States, and that's not a good thing. And when the reporter asked them, where are you going to be working when we reopen the state? They couldn't answer the question. So they had no answers for that. They just said the state need to open back up. I say this to you, Nicole. Does it look like the president can be reelected with the way things are going right now? Your president.
I'm not a political pundit. I don't know. I can't adequately answer that. What I will say is I find it interesting that in a time that you can't have campaign rallies and release propaganda, that you're going to use these stimulus checks as part of your propaganda, because why? You want your name on it.
And technically the rules say you're not supposed to do that. But the problem with this president
he doesn't follow the rules.
You have to have someone enforce the rules.
I just yeah. I don't know, but I saw online the other day, and it says that if he can buy your vote for $1,200, then that means you haven't sent him $40. I mean, like, how cheap are you?
Hey man, Kirk bought Rasheeda love for 40 years with some damn $50,000 car. So I mean, hell, don't take but so much money. I mean,
yeah, I guess, but it's just like, Let
me ask you this question, Nicole. I don't want to necessarily know your finances, but will you be getting back any of that $1,200 that the president is trying to put his name on out of curiosity?
Okay, based on 2018,
right?
I was expecting a check.
Okay.
I was informed, or direct deposit rather.
Right.
I was informed that I may not get a direct deposit,
Mhm.
I did not believe when someone told me that. So I went to the IRS portal and it says, we can't find nothing for you right now.
So we shouldn't even have faith in that damn portal because
no, and I have a friend. I have a friend who received an email from her financial institution on Saturday telling her that on Wednesday they were going to drop this money into her account for use. And on Wednesday, I called her because, I said, "Hi, did you get?" She has her $1,200. It is not on hold. It is free for her to spend. I'm not in the number, and as a Black Southern Christian, I'm not in the number for the stimulus, so I don't know if I get it, it will be a blessing. If I don't, then I will move forward with life. I mean, it's not going to stop me from eating. I did pay my rent on time. Yeah.
We have some very creative people on my channel who is trying to give you some insight and business ideas. Today, I feel like says Nicole should start a no contact weave delivery service. But you know what? I'm about that life. I'm about that life. You can deliver to the masses of the African American women who running around here with the Rona head, their hair products.
First of all, my hair products were delivered to me by my stylist on the first week of I could not go to my stylist. She mailed me my products. I also have
my God. Oh, I love it. My man says, call it weave on wheel. Woo! Who needs Meals on Wheels when you got weave on wheels? See?
Okay, here's the problem with that. For someone like me, yeah, I can get it, but who's gonna put it in? Now I gotta go. There's a whole backstory behind the production that happens with hair extensions. So no one should think just because you send it to me and I get it in the mail and I have these bundles of hair that you're gonna see me in 3 days and it's just gonna be beautiful. No, there's a whole production that happens. So I can't get to my people, my glam squad for my production. So I have hair I have hair at home, but I have adapted and improvised. So that's but
anytime y'all want to get creative ideas on how to make money, my audience is full of them. Now you're gonna let them invest. Now you don't think you're just gonna be running off with that idea and you ain't got to give them something. You're gonna have to give them something. That weave on wheels, I can trademark that right now. You make a wheel.
You need something a little.
I can trademark. You make a wheel and you put a little spoke in the middle, and you have weave extensions attached from the center to the outside of the wheel, and it's spinning. That is the logo for Weave on Wheels, right there. I'm with you. Mike is the man. Mike Willie came up with that. He gets credit for that. Now let me take you for the last few minutes. We'll just go into movie land, relationship land. What movies are you recommending that the people watch?
I have decided that in this week of you're tired. And this week of my quarantine, and again, I don't have a quarantine base, so it's just me here by myself. I've not been trying to engage in as much TV and screen time. I've actually begun reading. So there are some books that I've picked up and books I've picked back up. So I'm currently reading Don't Waste Your Pretty by Demetria L. Lucas.
Okay.
And if you're familiar with her, she is a phenomenal blogger, essayist. And the Don't Waste Your Pretty is her second book. Her first book was A Belle in Brooklyn, and it was a loosely autobiographical chronicling her dating life as a young woman. But Don't Waste Your Pretty is basically what it says, what you bring to the table, whatever it is. And it doesn't have to be, it's not just, your aesthetics, but what you bring to the table. Don't waste it. Don't be involved with, and this is for men or women, don't be involved with, people or situations that don't honor or uplift your pretty, so to speak. So, and then the second book that I have ordered that I haven't gotten into yet, but I plan to this weekend, is I Don't Want to Die Poor by Michael Arsenault. He wrote a New York Times bestseller called I Can't Date Jesus. And I like the title, and he's been an avid feature on a lot of the podcasts I listen to. So I was intrigued. But what made me actually press the add to cart, buy this item from my Amazon cart about the I Don't Want to Die Poor, is he was talking, he's speaking about student loan debt. And, being able to, if I had my student loan debt money, I could probably, purchase a fully loaded brand new Range Rover. That was of interest to me. So those are the two books. So I haven't done a lot of movies this week. I've been, trying to expand my Corona quarantine mind, and being out and about, getting out of the house, putting on my ear pods and just, enjoying the nice days that we're having. So as someone that's had a birthday during this quarantine Corona, it's exhausting. So I'm a spring baby. I like spring weather, and it just upsets me to have to, it's upsetting to me and my homegirls to be in the house during this time. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's got y'all so mad y'all attacking white women on Twitter, on Black Twitter.
You can't go outside. Where can you go?
And in this, if we're going to keep this in the spirit of books, a good read for anyone that's trying to turn around their financial situation is a book written by a guy named Clark Howard. He's my financial guy, my consumer advocate. I follow this man podcast. I follow his show. I was listening to him before there was such thing as a podcast. He has a book called Living Lean in Large Times. It is an outstanding read. It gives you the foundation on everything dealing with your money, from where you can save money, how you can make money, the foundations of what you need to have in your finances, how to get your credit right, what are the best moves to make in real estate. Pretty much everything that has shaped me to where I'm at came from this man in that book. And that's a good read for anyone who wants to further their knowledge of their financial situation and get a little bit more fiscally responsible and try to increase your wealth. Really, really good book.
We thank you for that.
Any closing words you would like to say to the people about, let me see here. How can we put this? We talked about yesterday the softness of these new young cats, me, Larry, and T Streams. Is there, from a woman's perspective, what would you have to say about this new generation of men? Do you feel like they're soft in the hind parts? What do you think? Oh Lord, she took a sip. This is about to be good.
I'm measuring my words here.
Oh, put it all out there. Don't measure nothing.
I am a very traditional young woman.
Okay.
I have very traditional values, thoughts, and ideologies. I'm traditional.
Ideology.
Oh,
yeah, ideology.
I gotta stop drinking out my glass. I'm from an era where there were certain things that just did not happen.
Mm-hmm.
My dad was not going to argue with my mother over what was deemed as her responsibilities or her things that affected her.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, my dad was not going to argue with my mom about what she did to her hair. That's just, he viewed that as I'm a man and that's a woman and that's her hair. Um, my mom was not going to argue with my dad or have a conversation or discussion with my dad about where he takes the car to get it serviced because he's the man and he's going to handle that. I think what has happened in today's society is everyone wants to have an opinion about everything.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone wants to say, oh, well, you shouldn't do that to your hair. Or why did you not take the car over here to get it serviced? Why didn't you go over here? And I know this, everyone wants to be involved.
Mm-hmm.
As a person who has been in a partnership before, there are strengths and weaknesses that you bring to the partnership. And I have to realize and recognize that I don't have all of the answers and every strength. I don't have all the strengths. So I have to defer to my partner and let that person pick up if they're stronger in a certain area.
Mm-hmm.
What has happened, I feel speaking for me, is that nowadays everybody wants to be involved. Everybody wants to have an opinion. Everybody wants to be oppressed. Everybody wants to, like, we weren't talking to you. It's not like, just come on, dude. And then if a man is interested in a woman, say that. Don't criticize her. Don't hit her and run. Don't, be a snarky little man. Just say that, but nowadays people are, oh my gosh, I can't seem vulnerable. I can't do that. So there's all of this other stuff that's playing into it. And I just feel like as a traditional woman, if you just sit back, stay in your lane, recognize your weaknesses, and that somebody else could have a strength in that area, and you're willing to and able to defer to that person, it will go a whole lot smoother than, oh no, I just cannot admit that I'm weak in an area and I have to be on top of this, and it's exhausting.
Well, I think we'll just table this discussion. None of that sounds to me quite like what's making men soft. Those might be contributors of their behavior, what you explained. But what's making them soft, I think we'll have to save that for another day. I would like to thank you all again for coming to the Life Gains Lamont Tyson channel and viewing us every Thursday promptly at 9 o'clock, where Lamont Tyson would never dibble dabble in Black Twitter, because they liable to try to cuss me out, and I will go back and forth with somebody to what they say.
Yeah, you don't have that kind of time or energy. That's the bowels of hells.
I'm going to keep following what's going on with this COVID-19 money. Because they ran out of money, we had two courageous congressional individuals in the House Democrat side come out and say that middle America and the poor need to be getting $2,000 a month from now until September, and they need to get that stuff pushed quickly.
What's classified as middle America?
Based on what their terms were, if you made less than $130,000 last year and you were 16 and older.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh man. I gotta shout out my man today. I feel like he come through and hit a brother with $5. And we're going to stop a hashtag called Stop the Moistness. And we ain't talking about Duncan Hines cakes. We ain't talking about Krispy Kreme donuts. We are talking about the wetness and softness of today's young men. That's what we're talking about.
Y'all can have that discussion tomorrow.
Oh, we'll bring it up. We'll definitely bring it up. And see, I noticed everybody's got a gimmick, so I got to start coming back with my gimmick. Everybody's got something to drink. Some of y'all bring weapons on the show.
Wow.
Me, I don't bring nothing but a loud mouth. So I'm going to start bringing props on the show too.
Hey, that's all you need.
You know. So any last words you want to say to the people until next week, Miss Nicole?
This virus is upsetting to me and my homegirls, because if we can't go outside, then where else can we go?
In the words of the white girl y'all kicked off Black Twitter, you can go online. That's where you can go.
Oh my God. And some of your viewers may know where that's from, but that cracks me up every single time I see that. So yeah, that's the new thing with me and my friends. You know, this virus is upsetting to me and my homegirls. If we can't go outside, then where can we go?
Bobby Brown, every little step you take can be right inside online. That's what you can do. And for everybody else, I want to just say, stay safe, practice social distancing,
wash your hands,
wash your hands, the whole nine. I will be bringing you guys the latest and greatest news about COVID-19, about making the money, about whatever programs they're going to bring, along with my little weird twist on pop culture. You know, we got to keep it going. Oh man, yeah. Larry saying bring an inhaler. Lord have mercy. Boy, I tell you what. This particular person right here, Nicole, today I feel like that's Larry. That's my folk, Larry.
That could be your gimmick.
What's my gimmick?
He said bring your inhaler.
Oh yeah, I could bring my inhaler. I could, but I'm not having any asthma issues right now, so I'm good. I'm good.
Well, you know, a good marketing person has already, you know, established their gimmick, as you say. But, you know, if you didn't think of that prior to being prompted, then you're a follower. You're not really a leader. So stick with what you know.
I'm still mad how y'all got rid of that white girl on Black Twitter.
I did not use my Twitter handler to respond to the young woman. I found it really interesting that her Twitter is now private, and you know, she changed her profile picture to an avatar. You know, my Twitter picture is me. You know, I don't have anything to hide behind.
I bet you
she can come back to Black Twitter. They will welcome her to the bowels of hell like they welcome everybody else.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for this video. Don't forget to like this live stream, comment, share, thumbs it up. We'll be back tomorrow with the normal 3 hot young men that you guys always see. Me, Larry, and the T-Streams. We'll be back up here messing around with folks, bringing you the latest news, trying to entertain you. And until that next Sex is Hell video, we'll see you.
Bye.